I told you eventually King Kong was going to get his own episode for the A&A series. It was going to happen. We already took care of Godzilla quite a few weeks back, but now it's time to talk about his counterpart, King Kong, the legendary Kaiju himself. So we'll start off by going over the very simple, the perk. And I do believe it is a simple one, but it makes a lot of sense and it just works for Kong. So I will use the King Kong versus Godzilla movie as a reference here. The battle axe. Now, Kong can have the battle axe out on the battlefield whenever he wants. That's not a problem. That could be a part of his base kit. But the perk, here's how it's going to work. The perk will be, essentially it's got to be charged up. The battle axe, right? It has to be charged up over time. And then King Kong uses it to deliver one massive blow, one massive shot to his opponent, dealing like extraordinary amounts of damage and knockback, and probably this would be a pretty close to a one-hit KO. As long as your opponent's, like say above 60% or something, like that's how strong this thing will be. It just builds up over time, so it can absorb damage. If you have the axe out, it absorbs some damage, or maybe it's just, I hate to use only meter-based ideas, but over time it just kind of charges itself up. Once it's charged, you'll have the indication, say, somewhere on screen, maybe under your character. You press the input, and then all of a sudden, the battle axe starts glowing. Kong, next time he lands a massive blow from this on his opponent, well, it's pretty much going to be a KO. More than likely, again, if they're at 0%, no. This would never KO at 0%. But, it shouldn't, right? That's completely unbalanced. But as long as your opponent has, fairly decent amount of damage on it, the battle axe is going to pretty much swing the tide in battle. Heck, even in the Godzilla vs. Kong movie, once Kong used this axe to land that blow on Godzilla, it actually knocked out Godzilla. He became unconscious for like a brief minute or something like that. So this thing is very powerful, and I think a perk kind of built up around charging up his battle axe over time. Makes a lot of sense. Now we're going to start with the moveset portion. Up first, we'll go simple because I think this is too iconic not to include, but a huge wind-up punch. Just like, again, I'm going to reference Kong versus Godzilla here for this one, but the big old punch, right, that he delivers to Godzilla on the battleship, on the carrier or whatever that is, when they're out there fighting for the first time. The big punch, he reaches back and then clocks him right in the face. This thing has to be like a forward smash attack. This is like the perfect idea for a forward smash like attack for Kong, right? And that's kind of Kong's whole character, right? He's not the most, we'll say, flashy type of character when it comes to battle. He's literally going to be a big bruiserweight. He's going to be one of the biggest, one of the heaviest characters on the roster, depending on who else might be in there. But again, being one of the biggest, one of the heaviest, he will be a slow character, but the whole super heavyweight type character, they're slow, they do a lot of damage, but if you could outspeed them and kind of keep them on their toes a little bit, you can have some fun with them. When, especially if you're the opponent, right? Just give them the runaround, and you can keep them on their toes, keep them off balance, and just try to stay away from their strong attacks. Again, smash-like attack, forward smash attack here, definitely got to be the big punch. Next move, we're gonna go. Okay, so overall, Kong, I think most of us would understand. He's just a big bruiser, a big heavyweight, big scrappy kind of brawler type character. He's not gonna, again, not flashy, but everything he does is big punch, big kick, big shoulder tackle, stuff like that. But what if we give him like a little bit of, he's got his battle axe, right? He's got his battle axe he can do, and again with the perk that charges up over time and delivers one massive blow. But what about we give him something else, sort of like a melee weapon, if you will? What if he takes a tree? He literally just rips a random tree out. Obviously, it'll just appear out of nowhere, but he takes a tree, rips it out of the ground, he uproots it, and then he uses that tree to bash his opponent with. So the tree basically explodes upon impact, like it does in the little screenshots that I have here. But it just gives him, something a little different. But again, this is kind of what he does. He takes whatever he can use to fight, and then he, fights with it. And I think that's kind of the perfect embodiment of Kong. Again, nothing flashy, so just uproot a tree, smash it against your opponent, and hey, you got another move. Now the third move, this one, again, simple stuff for Kong, but I'm going to go with the roll. Now, again, this might not be too enticing to a lot of people, but hear me out. So imagine King Kong actually being playable for a second. Imagine this big character on stage, right? Now imagine him doing a roll where if he rolls into you, obviously he's going to do damage and knockback to you. But you have this big blob of massive humanity, right, of Kong. And as he's rolling into you, he's covering a pretty big chunk of, the part of the stage that he's on. So it's not like it's something that's completely useless. We've seen heavyweight characters have a role that does actual attack damage and knockback in games before. I could take King DDD in Smash Ultimate with his, I believe it's his down tilt. Basically, he does a little roll in place. It's not the fastest roll, but it doesn't need to be. Again, DDD is a slower heavyweight character. Kong, going to be the same thing. Slower heavyweight character. So he's going to roll. It's going to obviously cover a little distance because he's rolling, but at the same time, you got to watch out if he's right there, if you're right in front of him and he wants to pull this off. It's going to be a big hitbox. He's literally doing a somersault moving forward, or whichever direction he's facing, and that could hurt. That would definitely hurt. I mean, I don't think you would want King Kong to roll on you because nobody does. Now for the alternate costume portion, we got a couple ideas here. One, let's go with I believe this one's the Peter Jackson one from, when was it? 2001, I believe. But what's the difference here? This King Kong is pretty much all black fur. That's basically the difference. He's pretty much all black fur. Compared to maybe the default one, the most recent model that they use in the movies would be him having more of a kind of light brown, kind of a sort of a two-toned sort of fur, especially around his face. You can notice it, but the one they use now is definitely brighter than this one. So this is just another nod to the past King Kongs that have come before him. I know it's like a subtle difference, but there are fans of King Kong from every sort of different movie, different franchise, whatever, and they're like, no, this one's the best. I like this look the best. And isn't that kind of what really matters in the end? If it's a cosmetic, as long as it's different enough, and there's fans that are like, yes, I prefer this version compared to this version. There would be people that would prefer this version of Kong to the maybe possibly the default one with the lighter fur tone. So that's an obvious one. But another one you could do is the throwback Kong. We could say the classic one where you got the dude actually dressed. It's literally a dude in a monkey costume. You could have that as like a fun sort of skin that people would if you know what it is and you're like, all right, that's kind of cool history that they're showing off right there. So that'd be a cool one to just kind of have in the collection. Just kind of a cool skin that's out there. But just something to think about. And again, alternate costumes. You're not everyone's going to buy every single one of them. It's going to be based on preference and if they can buy alternate costumes and stuff like that. So something like this it's fine. It works for whoever wants to buy it. And now the yay or nay portion. This one's easy for me. Kong, big yay, huge yay, even pun intended, if you will. But yeah, a big yay for me. Kong is one of the characters I really want to see in this game. I think he could fit well. Yes, scale him down, but still making him a big, super heavyweight character. He can still feel like himself. I do truly believe that. So yeah, for me, it's a big yay. That is only going to leave the question of yay or nay for you. Let me know down in the comments. Speaking of the comments and your guys' yay or nay, it's about time we get the updated stats for the yay or nay series. So here they are. Alright, starting with the first two characters of the series, Daffy Duck and Samurai Jack. As we can see, look at that, Daffy Duck is still perfect. Still perfect. 120 people have voted in every single one of them. All 120 have said yes. And not a single nay for Daffy so far. Absolutely crazy. So he's still sitting at 100% yes to no ratio, which is nuts. Then Samurai Jack is now up to 93 total votes, 87 yeses and 6 no's. And Samurai Jack is now sitting at a 93.54% yes to no ratio, which is actually down 1.94% from a couple weeks ago. Moving to the next two characters, we got the Animaniacs, the 3-in-1, obviously all three of them, and Fred Flintstone. Animaniacs are now at 88 total votes, 83 of those are yeses, 5 of those are no's, and their percentage, they come in with a 98.31%, which is actually down 0.92%. So almost a whole percent from the last time we've seen him. So that's not good. I mean, going down is never the best thing to do percentage-wise. But and then Fred Flintstone, 77 total votes, 71 yays, 6 no's. And Fred's got a 92.20%, which is down 1.13% from the last time that we seen him. Now we got Godzilla and Ben 10. Godzilla by far has the most nays out of any character, but total votes he has 84. 71 are yeses, and 13 of those are no's. Godzilla has an 84.52% yes to no ratio, and that is down 2.06% from a couple weeks ago. So yeah, again, a lot of characters, like everybody had negative percent this week, except for Daffy, which is crazy. But Ben 10, even Ben 10 went down in the wrong direction. Somebody said no to Ben 10. But Ben has 93 total votes now, 89 of those are yeses, 4 of those are no's, and Ben is sitting at a 95.69% yes to no ratio, which is down 0.78% from a few weeks ago. Now we get to the new characters, a couple of the new characters at least. Scorpion up first, starting things off with 63 total votes. 57 of those were yeses, and 6 of those were no's. So Scorpion starts with a 90.47%. Since that's his first percent, he's not up or down percent from the previous week. But yeah, 90.47% yes to no ratio. Of course, the other side of that, we got Mordecai, who's sitting at 69 total votes. 65 of those were yeses, and 4 of those were no's. So percentage-wise, Mordecai, 94.20%. That's actually pretty dang good. I believe that's like 4th or 5th best out of the 9 characters that we've done so far. And then the last character, Wile E. Coyote, is not in last place by any means. And in fact, he's actually in second place percentage-wise. But Wile only had 54 total votes. 53 of those were yeses. He did have 1 no. But 98.14% of people prefer to see Wile E. Coyote as a playable character. There you have it. That is going to wrap it up for this week. Hope you guys enjoyed as always. And I guess I'll see you when I'm looking at you.